Hello and welcome back. Episode 13 of the High Point Podcast. I'm your host at Rick High Jr. And I am joined, of course, by my lovely co-host at JDubTines. Jacob, how are you?
I'm ready for some turkey, man.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
Thanksgiving all. Looking
Yes.
forward to another Cowboys win. Let's
Fingers
make
crossed.
it 3 in a row.
Yeah, fingers crossed for you. We're going to have a bit of a special Thanksgiving episode, if you will. It might be a little bit shorter than some of our other ones. Just to kind of give you a lowdown here, we're going to do our normal warm-up, reviewing last week's games, week 12. We're going to take a look for our main topic at previous Thanksgiving games, some of the highlights, just kind of reminiscing from a lot of the great Thanksgiving games of old. In our tip drill, we have some things prepared for you. That'll be pretty fun. And then, of course, going into our picks, which, Jacob, you're kind of right on my tail here, man.
I don't know about that, but we're trying to catch up. I think you're taking it easy on me this week. Call it an early Christmas present, but I'm doing my best.
Yeah, we'll get there. So first up, let's review some of the Week 12.
Let's do it.
All right. Very first one up, Thursday night game. It feels like forever ago at this point. I don't know why it feels so long, but my Texans took down the Buffalo Bills at home. That was my upset pick. Pretty happy about it, obviously. I feel like it between that and, the Jacksonville game. I'm sorry, not Jacksonville. Titans game. And then, of course, before that, the Jacksonville game where we had that comeback that was very unexpected. We have some momentum rolling. And, I was definitely in the camp of who cares? Season's over. Like nothing's looking good. Just, kind of toss this one in the trash and hope for next year. But no, we're starting to look good, taking down really good teams like the Bills. I still believe in the Bills. I think they're a great team. So for this, it seemed like a good win. Did you happen to catch that game or see any of the highlights?
Yeah, I think I watched most of it, man. I mean, at least when I was watching, it looked like an ass kicking. I mean, the Texans defense is just, they're top notch, and the Bills offense is clearly not as good as they were last year. And, we've talked about, at least for me, the Bills are kind of a mystery this season. They've had their ups and downs and weird losses, but this was not a weird loss. The Texans were a better team. It was a convincing win, even though it was only 4 points at the end of it. Yeah, I just, you should feel good. You guys are 6-5. You've got a shot. You've got a clear path to the playoffs. Colts lost this weekend. You're still 2 games back from them, but hey, anything could happen at this point.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things for me is how dominant our defense has been. To force 2 interceptions from Josh Allen, who, he has a decent amount of interceptions, but obviously he has a good pass touchdown ratio that outweighs that. But the more important part here was the 8 sacks that we got on him. That is crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's only second to Cleveland just beating the crap out of Geno Smith, which we can chit chat on a little bit later. But yeah, I really think that, there hasn't really been a team that's kind of lit up this Houston defense. They've been pretty damn stout, which is great. That gives me a lot of confidence if we do make the playoffs, right? In playoffs, I truly think you win in the playoffs more from your defense than your offense. You could have a stellar offensive season and completely light up the box score, but once you get later in the season, what matters is getting stops, important stops. So, but yeah.
I agree. I was just looking at the stat line here. Is it your rookie of the year, defensive player of the year? Will Anderson Jr. got 2.5 sacks.
Yeah. I don't think he's a rookie. He's not a rookie, right? Second year.
I mean, you said Willie Anderson Jr. I know.
Yeah,
that was one of your guys for the season.
Yeah, no, I love Will Anderson Jr. He's
had a game,
phenomenal.
man. 6 hits, 3 solo hits, 2.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 1 pass deflected, 3 quarterback hits. I mean, how much more could you ask for there? And then
absolutely,
shouts out to my boy Danielle Hunter.
I was gonna say
having 2 sacks as well.
Having those two just on the opposite side, opposite sides of each other, bringing pressure from both ends.
Yep.
I would not want to be a quarterback. I'm telling you that. Like that is intense. So, but yeah, they're looking stout. It doesn't feel like there's a weak point in our defense whatsoever.
I agree.
Scrolling down here, Colts and Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs end up winning that one in overtime with a field goal. To me, at least, I still don't think this shows devastation for the Colts. Like, I still think they're a really good team. I still, dropping a loss here or there, I don't want to outright call them frauds. However, what do they have next? They have us, the Texans. They have the Texans. Jaguars, obviously, winning record. You can't count them out. Seahawks, Niners, Jaguars, Texans. I think you mentioned it last week. This is the time to find out who the Colts really are, right?
Yeah, I mean, if they're for real, and we thought they were, just a few weeks ago, they've definitely stumbled a little bit since then. I don't know what to make of that. It's a long season, and we've talked many times about momentum, and you want to have your momentum going into the playoffs. I'd rather be in the Cowboys or the Texans position with not so great record, but being on the upswing, feeling good, feeling healthy, than having these issues kind of come out in the middle of the season. So they can always get it back together. They've got definitely some stout opponents coming up. So yeah, we'll figure out if they're bona fide or not.
Yeah, my one thing is, and not that he's been terrible in their losses, but I feel like teams like Seattle, teams like Houston with these very good defenses are going to shake up Daniel Jones. I feel like that might be a little
That
tough to
seems
handle.
to be the theme here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, as long as he and Shane Steichen are able to navigate that, they should be fine. I could see them at the very least splitting these next games 500, still making the playoffs with like 11 or 12 win. But yeah, I think this is where we're going to really find out who they are. Chicago Bears and Pittsburgh Steelers. The final there ended being 31-20. And yet again, the Bears seem to eke out a win at the last second. I'm dumbfounded. I'm glad because this is one of
Me
my
too,
teams.
man.
This has been one of my teams this year. But man, it just seems like how much more magic do they have? To me, it's crazy that they're just leading the division because I think we both picked them third.
Yeah.
Behind Detroit and behind
Green Bay.
Green Bay. Thank you. Obviously, I picked Minnesota. You picked Chicago last.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I picked Chicago third, but I'm pretty sure I initially picked them last and then I swapped it during the episode. I felt a little bit more I felt a little bit better than I did about the Vikings, especially with JJ McCarthy, and I've been a big critic of his all year. So yeah, were you able to see any of that game?
I didn't watch any of this game. I was just like browsing through the recap right now actually to see what the circumstances were, but I can't fault the Bears here, man. The Steelers were one of the good teams that I said, they needed to beat to convince me. I'm still not convinced because there's still a few games left that I want to see them play the Eagles, the Packers especially, and if they win one or both of these games, then I don't know, maybe I am ready to call them for real. But
I think it's fair to not be convinced yet because they played against Mason Rudolph, right? They didn't play, Aaron Rodgers. He was out. Not that, him in his old age, like, I don't think he's going to be a world beater, right?
No, he's a game manager, and that it's the defense that runs that team for sure.
Right. But I think a 3-point swing, yeah, he may have been able to do that. So yeah, I think I'd trust Rodgers, in late game situations, especially. Detroit and New York. Did you happen to see this one?
I didn't see any of that. No, I figured it would be a beatdown, closer than I expected here.
So yeah, it was a beatdown, but not in the way in the opposite direction. New York was kind of taking it to Detroit for quite some time, including a Jameis Winston reception touchdown. I think
yeah, we definitely talked about in that group chat. That's just like an all-time highlight reel.
Oh man,
I think the top Reddit comment was like, "This is going to be on Jameis's tombstone" or something.
Jameis he'll never disappoint me. Doesn't matter, man. Let's see. I'm actually going to look at the box score right now because I'm looking at his stats. No, he was great at 366 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 sack.
Hey, you'll take that any day out of Jameis Winston.
Oh, and of course, obviously the receiving touchdown. So, yeah, man, Jameis, you'll never disappoint me. I'm gonna look right in the camera because one day, hopefully, he'll see this. He won't. Jameis, you mean the world to me. All right, cool. I'm good. Man, I honestly, I might get a Jameis Winston jersey just as a fan of the man himself.
But a Giants one, I guess he's played for many teams at this point, so you can take your pick. But
I think I would want.
I feel like Tampa Bay Jameis.
Yeah,
Either Tampa Bay or New Orleans Jameis.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
don't know.
think
I'd have to think about it. I'd have to look at the list.
I think New Orleans Jameis is the eat the dub.
I One of them. One of them. Yeah. But on the Lions, man, it seems like they struggled on offense to put up, points, and then that's not a new thing at this point in the season. I mean, the past couple of games, they haven't really blown the doors off anybody. Gotta give props to Jahmyr Gibbs. 69-yard touchdown on his first play of overtime. Kind of bailed them out. Another note on the Lions I saw today, their former center, Frank Ragnow, is coming out of retirement. So that'll be a big lift for them. It was just announced today or yesterday, if you're watching this Thursday. Yeah, so everybody seems to be cheering that on the Lions subreddit. He's definitely a good player. We'll see if that makes any substantial changes for the Lions, but
Good for them. Good for them. I hope it does. Since you mentioned it, I do kind of want to read this off. Jahmyr Gibbs' stat line here. So 15 rushes for 219 yards. That, by the way, is 14.6 yards per rush.
Good Lord.
2 touchdowns.
Insane.
He had 11 catches on 12 targets, 45 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. The man was electric. The man did everything. I believe we use I'm in a PPR league on Yahoo, and I think he ended up with like 55 points. He alone almost outscored my opponent. So yeah, that was what a game from him. Seahawks Titans. I want to talk about this one because I need to apologize because I have not watched enough Cam Ward footage. I saw a ton of footage from this game, and I want to apologize. I think Cam Ward is a very good quarterback. He is currently surrounded on a just completely ass team.
No talent on that team.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think I think he will be somebody to watch in the next few years. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he'll stay in Tennessee and he'll have a decent quarterback as long as they put some tools around him. I think he made some plays where I'm just like, 80% of quarterbacks would have just given up, thrown it out of bounds. Who cares? And no, he finds a way to make it happen.
Bro, I have to share, looking at this stat line. I didn't watch the game, but I'm a Cam Ward believer, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
All right. Their top receiver was Gunnar Helm. 6 receptions for 51 yards. Hook 'em. Listen to their running backs, okay? They had 3 running backs. Tony Pollard, 11 for 20. That's a 1.8. IJ Spears, 3 rushes for 4 yards. And then Julius Chestnut rushed the ball twice for 3 yards. Cam Ward was their top rusher with 6 carries and 37 yards, 6.2 average.
That's
One of
embarrassing.
them was a touchdown.
He
is literally the only thing on this team that seems to be working. It's the Titans. They effed up big time letting Vrabel go. Their ownership doesn't really seem to care about being good at football. So I truly feel bad for Cam Ward because I feel like this is a situation where he's just going to be stuck here and never be able to truly compete and do what he should be doing. We'll see, but it just doesn't look good right now.
Just write out your rookie contract, go somewhere else, honestly.
And this was one of his better games, man. Yeah, it just sucks. He's definitely got a lot of development to do. I don't think that development is going to be best done at Tennessee.
Fair enough, yeah. On the opposite side of the ball, I think it's important to note here, Jackson Smith-Njigba, 167 yards with 2 touchdowns. He actually surpassed DK Metcalf to set the Seahawks single-season record for receiving yards. To do that in Week 12 is amazing. Yeah.
I was surprised Steve Largent had never done it, gotten 1,300 yards with the Seahawks. Because he was their all-time leading receiver. Maybe still is. But yeah, DK Metcalf had like just over 1,300 yards, and I think in JSN just passed him up. So, dude's a beast.
Some of the other...
you watch him play, man, he's just on another level. No defenders can keep up with him. It's crazy.
Some of the other stats that I saw, this is from memory, I don't know if these are exact, but as far as a passing offense, they're one of the lowest. And he has like significantly less targets and catches than most other receivers. So that's just a short way of saying, or a long way of saying, he makes most out of the catches that he has. So, I mean, that alone has been very impressive from him. I've really enjoyed it. Browns and Raiders, Myles Garrett breaks his own Browns record, single season sack record of 17.
Poor Geno.
Dude, Geno got tore up. I need to go back because I think it was 8. No, oh my God, it was 10. He got sacked 10 times. My goodness. I'm gonna see the breakdown.
I gotta find, because they fired the Raiders fired Chip Kelly after this game.
That's right.
And I
Good, honestly.
saw a report earlier today that was like, Chip Kelly would at times throughout the season either call plays that weren't in the playbook or like call plays that weren't they didn't plan for that game or whatever. Like, just, he's such a joke. It's unfortunate that Pete Carroll allowed that for so long. The Raiders are a joke.
It's pretty bad.
Good
So
for Myles
Myles-
Garrett, though. Sacks are not easy no matter who the team. The dude's a beast. He might set the single season sack record. Might break it.
Well, I mean, just in the last 4 games, 3 against Las Vegas, 4 against Baltimore, 1 against the Jets, and then 5 against New England.
Good Lord. He sacked Drake May 5 times?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that...
Yeah, I mean, he could do it.
You know what? And I shouldn't be saying such nice things about him, especially this week with Texas playing Texas A&M, but he's easily my favorite Aggie of all time. He might be... I would say him or Von Miller, but I think I like him better than Von Miller. So, next game, let's talk about your Cowboys. I'll let you take this one. I'm gonna shut up. You take the floor.
I called it, man. Philly are frauds. We showed them what's what.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is there to say? I was so hyped up about that game.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit. Go off, King.
Pickens is that dude. Now listen, I know you have a bone with CeeDee Lamb and blah blah blah. CD had a bad game. Listen, he's gonna bounce back this game and have a monster game. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Calling it right now.
Call it.
We're gonna
call it.
We're gonna win this week against the Chiefs. I'm pretty sure we're an underdog.
Yes, 4-point, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna be the disruptors that I said we were gonna be 2 episodes ago. We're gonna continue that. I don't know who we play after the Chiefs off the top of my head, but the Chiefs are not the Chiefs of old. Philly are frauds. They are frauds. We showed that. Their offense sucks. Their offense couldn't do anything against our defense, dude. And we have one of the worst defenses in the league. It's not the worst anymore, but it's bad. Make no mistake about it. And they could not do anything against our defense.
Next
we had
game,
several key stops.
Your next game is another Thursday nighter at the Lions, followed by Vikings, Chargers, Commanders, and then Giants. So it's really just this Lions game that should be worrying you guys more than anything else. I think you guys can handle Vikings, Commanders, and Giants. Chargers is a bit of a toss-up with how they've been. But, I mean, you and the Chiefs virtually have the same record. They're 6-5. You guys are 5-5-1.
We're the same kind of team, too.
Now, I want you to throw out a prediction here because you say that CD is going to be better this game.
Absolutely.
So just some things to note, and the reason why I brought it up and put it in our group chat, how I'm like, I don't know if I've said it on the podcast. I have not been a Cowboys fan forever, so I haven't watched CD since he's gotten drafted. I've only really paid attention to the Cowboys the last 2 or 3 years. It seems like Pickens in his first year has better chemistry when it comes to route running, when it comes to being able to be dynamic within a defense if a play breaks down. He has better chemistry with Dak than CD does. All of my Cowboys friends are telling me no, and that's perfectly okay. Obviously, I'm not the forefront on knowledge of the Cowboys, but something I wanted to point out here. Targets for Pickens. He had 9 this game. He had 9 catches. CeeDee Lamb, as you know, had 4 receptions. How many targets do you think he had?
He had 11 targets, and 4 of those were drops. Definitely on him. Like I said,
had 11 targets.
Bad game from CD, poor concentration. That shouldn't happen to your wide receiver 1. Point blank, it shouldn't. Thankfully, the Cowboys have 2 of them. And thank God for George Pickens, man, because that dude makes plays. He creates things out of nothing after the catch sometimes, and it's beautiful to watch.
I wonder if at the end of the season we can do like an all Rick and all Jacob team honors type of things.
I'd love that.
I would obviously put Jameis Winston as a quarterback, put George Pickens as one of my wide receivers, just had nothing to do with stats. Just like, I love this guy,
Just these
that
are
type
your
of stuff.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Anyways, I
But yeah,
want your
man,
prediction.
Philadelphia are frauds. Who do they play next? I just want to reiterate this.
Yeah.
They're going to play the Bears. Okay. So now which
Fraud on
team with the
fraud.
horseshoe up their ass is going to get luckier this time? Will it be the Bears, just something happening, some late fourth quarter comeback, or will it be the Eagles getting call after call after, or no call from the refs?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
This is going to be your biggest hate watch of the year. Are you excited?
I'm absolutely rooting for the Bears here, man. I want Philly to lose out the rest of the season. I mean, I want them to lose every game ever, but
yeah.
if the Bears could beat them, that would be so sweet.
Okay. I want your prediction right now. What is CeeDee Lamb's stat line going to be? Catches, yardage, touchdowns.
7 catches, 116 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
I like that. Book it. Okay. The only last one I want to talk about, mainly just because of how much of a blowout it was and how, I want to know from you what you think happens moving forward. The Rams beat the Buccaneers 34-7. Our boy Baker also
AC joint sprain.
Yes, and I believe it was
likely will be out this week.
It was his non-throwing shoulder, or not non-throwing arm, which is good. But he's already sat out Wednesday's walkthrough. I don't know if they've officially talked about his availability, but I can't imagine that even if he does play, they're going to do, normal Baker Mayfield, high utilization, 48 throws type of game.
Likely not.
What do you think this means for the Buccaneers? And do the Carolina Panthers have a shot at that division?
Absolutely, they do. They're tied with the Bucs right now, and Atlanta's only 2 games back of them. And it's not like I think Atlanta's a good team without Penix for the rest of the year. Like I said, they could probably flush their season down the toilet, but they're in such a crappy division. And if Baker's going to be hurt, and they've been dealing with injuries all season, it's not a long-term injury for Baker. We talked about last time, I called this team a fraud because they're entirely dependent on Baker and his performance. Outside that, they don't really have anything going for them. The defense sucks. They have great receivers, but who's their backup?
Bridgewater.
Who came? Yeah, I mean,
he's not in football shape at all, man. He was not looking good.
I've never been impressed by Teddy Bridgewater, even when he was at his peak with Minnesota or whatever. And then, he kind of looked good for maybe one season there with the Saints. It might be just one of those seasons that's kind of lost before you have a losing record because they're 6-5.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a crappy division. I don't think any of these teams are going to do anything, but the Panthers definitely have a path to the playoffs. For sure.
I think that's going to be the thing here that spells out the division is Carolina, at the moment at least, is the most healthy. Tampa Bay has been dealing with shit all year. Every single wide receiver has been on and off of IR. The Falcons, of course, lose Penix for the season. So, I mean, there's just a little bit there where it's like, hey, things are kind of up in the air. 6-5, 6-5, 4-7. Hell, technically, I mean, they haven't been mathematically eliminated. The Saints are in it at 2-9. They're not going to make it though. It doesn't matter. But it's just crazy to me that, there might be like an 8 or 9 win team going to the playoffs here.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, but looking at their remaining schedules, Carolina definitely has the tougher schedule. So their last 5 games 3 of them are their conference games, or excuse me, their division games. But the non-division games, Tampa plays Cardinals and Dolphins, and the Panthers play Rams this week, and then Seahawks in 3 weeks. So definitely better teams that Carolina is going to have to go up against. Probably be a tight race, and they play each other at the last game of the season. That could be a rare, everybody's really going for it last regular season game type deal.
Yeah, those are always fun. All right, man. I think that's everything for the warm-ups, unless you got something else.
Nah.
All right, let's get into the main topic.
Eagles are frauds.
What's that?
I said once again, Eagles are frauds.
Eagles are frauds. Yes, sir. All right, let's get into the main topic. Okay. All right, for our main topic, we are going to be reviewing some of the Thanksgiving games from previous years, just chatting about them, reminiscing, things like that. And then yeah, we'll just give our take on some of these games. So, here's one that I'll bring up. Do I have them? Oh, I should have put these in better order. You know what? We'll just go off the riff. Number 1, 2014, Mark Sanchez, butt fumble. So for me,
do you think Mark Sanchez looks back and thinks, wow, the butt fumble is not like the worst thing I've ever done in my life now?
probably actually. Yeah, probably. So that game, 49-19 was the final score there, with the Patriots beating the Jets. I think that's kind of one of the bigger things there, the bigger takeaways. That year, to no one's surprise, the Jets ended up at, what did they end up at actually? I was trying to find the full standings.
Less than 3 wins, got to be.
Well, no, they were 4-7 going into that game, or I guess 4-6, right? Patriots were 8. They were 7-3 going into that game. They ended up 8-3. Classic stuff from Tom Brady, right? 18 of 27, 3 touchdowns. Sanchez actually, look, I'm not like over here waving the Mark Sanchez flag, right? I don't really care about Mark Sanchez, but I'll say I think he got more crap than he deserved. Part of that was just because he was on the Jets.
For sure. 100%. I don't remember that game, but that replay lives forever. And I think every football fan's head rent free. Mm-hmm. It's just hilarious, man. I looked back on it and I try to understand what he was doing, what he was seeing as he ran. I watched it the other day and I was like, he had to have been expecting that lineman to plow forward before he ran directly into him. But there was a gap to the right. And I don't know. It's inexplicable.
It was straight up like, hey, I'm going to run straight and close my eyes and just hope for the best. That must have been it, because I don't know how you do that.
The worst thing that could have happened.
Yeah. Can you take a guess who the leading receiver was this game? On either side, Patriots or like for the game.
Julian Edelman.
No. I'm gonna tell you a name here. Shane Vereen.
I love Shane Vereen, running back.
Yeah, 91 yards on 2 receptions.
That one of them was a wheel route for sure.
Yep.
Shane Vereen on that wheel, we've gone, boy.
Yep. He was it was an 83 yarder, by the way.
So was the other running back LeGarrette Blount at that time?
Stephen Ridley.
Okay.
Yeah, Stephen Ridley actually had the majority of the carries there. What's that?
Steven spelled Stevan.
Yes, correct. Yeah, on 4.6, by the way. Not a bad average there. 21 carries for 97 yards.
He's a good running back.
He was, yeah. I liked him. I'm telling you, that's going to be the majority of this segment here, is just looking at these and seeing all the older names and being like, you remember this guy?
Yeah, because half these games are like before we were football conscious.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Next one we have, so this is a fun one. The Bears go into Lambeau on Favre's jersey retirement night and then beat them 17-13. But Chicago wasn't good at this time.
Was that Aaron Rodgers was still with Green Bay at that time?
Yeah. And honestly, not a terrible night.
Who was leading the Bears? Was that Jay Cutler?
It was Jay Cutler. That's right. Yeah.
Smoking Jay Cutler, baby.
Yeah. He had a rating. He had a better QBR. That's for sure. What made the difference?
Was that Alshon Jeffrey day?
It is. Yeah. 7 for 90. 7 for 90.
Good stuff. That's good stuff.
On Green Bay side, they had Randall Cobb, 6 for 74. Big old
Jordy
Eddie
Nelson.
Lacy.
Oof.
Yeah. So, that was the main takeaway here was, Green Bay, obviously a decent team at the time, being led by Aaron Rodgers. Jersey retirement for Favre. Vibes are immaculate. Chicago Bears, who sucked at the time, go in there and ruin it.
And spoil it.
What a Thanksgiving. I want to see. I don't think we could find this one. No, I can't find the box score for it. But we were talking about 1998, Randy Moss versus the Cowboys.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So for those that aren't aware of that one, that was Randy Moss's rookie year. And he had 3 catches, and all 3 catches were touchdowns. And it was something like 51, 52, and 56 yarders. So just absolutely demolishing the Cowboys. Now,
were those from Dante Culpepper?
Ooh, that's a great question. I would think so. That sounds
I think so.
like that era, right?
But yeah, that was notoriously. I remember watching the 30 for 30 on Randy Moss. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend to go check it out because it goes into the detail about, what kind of happened with the off the field stuff and like his reported issues and that sort of thing and why he kind of dropped in the draft. But he infamously wanted to play for the Cowboys, and we infamously didn't draft him. And I mean, he basically threw down the gauntlet and said, I'm going to show you why you should have drafted me. And he effing showed us because, oh my gosh.
I'll tell you this, though. It was not Dante Culpepper.
No?
Who do you think it was before Dante Culpepper?
1998?
Yep, Minnesota quarterback.
It wasn't Favre, was it?
No. Favre was way after. It was Randall Cunningham.
Well, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was thinking Dante Culpepper as well, but it's like just a little bit further back.
Yeah.
But make no mistake, Randy Moss was the record setter that game. He was what everybody was talking about. Troy Aikman, though, had 455 yards. That's pretty crazy on 34 completions. The utilization was high for him. 34 with 57 attempts. Ugh.
Troy's underrated all time, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, just this game actually was crazy from a receiving standpoint. So I'll read you off. So we know Randy Moss's 3 catches, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's wild that every single one was a touchdown. Chris Carter on that side as well, 7 receptions, 135 yards, and a touchdown. On the opposite side, Michael Irvin, 10 receptions, 137 yards. No touchdowns, but man, that if you are a up and coming wide receiver watching this game at Thanksgiving,
it's a clinic.
Dude, yeah, and you're going out afterwards and you're going to go play in the yard and you're like, "No, dad, only throw me bombs. Like I want to catch 40 yarders, 50 yarders." That's 3 crazy.
Hall of Famers, right? Chris Carter's in the Hall of Fame.
I think so. I think so. If he's not, he has to be like.
Yes, he was inducted in 2013.
Yeah, I was going to say. But you know what? This is the one that took me a little bit of time to find, but I found it. The Dolphins and Cowboys sleep game. Is that what you called it? They're like,
yeah. I had to look that up. In 1993.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. Outside of Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, the usual suspects, I don't know anybody else on either of these teams. Like, I don't know. I don't know any Miami Dolphins fans, but if I took a Miami Dolphin fan around my age and said, "Hey, do you know who Steve DeBerg is?" I don't. And they were good at this time. They're 9-2, so they won this game. So they would have been 8-2 going into this game. Never heard that name. But maybe that's a me issue. Maybe I'm just I need to get my knowledge up. But I'll try to put in some pictures of the game that happened with the snow. I'll just edit those, and that might be a better way to view kind of what happened during this game. Even in the snow,
they got 1.5 inches of sleet. Freak weather condition.
Wow. That being said, still a lot of receiving. Like usually snow, rain, wind, they kind of are just like, hey, ground and pound. We're not going to worry about throwing the ball as much. Just hand it off and try to get what we can get. This game still had quite a bit of tossing the ball around, right? So that's pretty notable, I would say.
We are talking about the Super Bowl winning Cowboys. They went on to win the Super Bowl that season. So
in 90, what year was this?
93.
93. Okay.
93 season.
See, that's why I don't know who Steve DeBerg is. I was not even a year old yet. All right, next one we'll go to. I believe this is 2019. Cam Jordan sacks Matt Ryan 4 times.
Jeez.
Yeah, not envious of that. And it looks like for the most part, Saints kind of dominated that game. Drew Brees is still there in 2019. They ended up 10-2 after that game. Atlanta was just abysmal, around 3-9. So
poor Matt Ryan. I think if I have a single memory of that game, was probably feeling bad and pain for him.
Yeah. Yeah. It does. I feel like Matt Ryan's one of those guys in our generation, right? Because I feel like we have lived through kind of the golden generation of quarterbacks with people like Manning, Brady, Breeze, and then we get some of the direct after effects of that with people like Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford, that kind of era, Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers. And I feel like we've kind of gotten spoiled. And it seems crazy to me that after, like, if you were to stack all the quarterbacks that I've ever seen play in the NFL, Matt Ryan probably wouldn't even crack the top 20.
20, 30, yeah.
And he
was an absolute
pretty damn
gunslinger,
good.
man.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, in that game, by the way, it's not just the 4 sacks, by the way, from Cam Jordan. He ended up getting sacked 9 times total. So, yeah,
Jeez.
they're kind of taking him down quite a bit. So, yeah. Definitely a rough one. And the sad part, I'm looking at the box score on the other side. It's not like Drew Brees was lighting it up like his normal Drew Brees self. He only had 184 yards passing, most of that being to Jared Cook, a tight end. Like Michael Thomas had under 50. Alvin Kamara had 23 yards receiving. The offense wasn't really moving as much as they normally do. And they were still able to come away with the win here. Okay, next game. We'll go last year. So the Detroit Lions firing on all cylinders, 10-1 going into this game. Chicago Bears, abysmal, 4-7, right? Not exactly the best. However, the Bears almost come back and win it. And they end up, well, I guess I should say they almost come back to tie it. And they end up flubbing it, just poor clock management. And then following this game, they fire Eberflus. Matt Eberflus, the head coach.
Who's now our defensive coordinator.
Yeah, love to see that.
Love that. Thank God he's not managing our clock.
So that game, that's kind of exactly who Detroit was exactly who they are this year and who they have been for the last like 2 or 3 years. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs both splitting with 88 and 87 yards rushing. Amon-Ra, actually Jared Goff spreading the ball around quite a bit with Amon-Ra 5 receptions, 73 yards. David Montgomery, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, like, just usual Detroit stuff. But yeah, that's the main takeaway from this one was that they kind of flubbed it at the end. Just some bad clock management.
Yeah, that was a short stint. What did you say the Bears record was?
At the time,
week 11 or week 12?
So yeah. So after this game, they're 4-8. So yeah, not the greatest. And at that time, by the way, I don't know what their final record was last season, but at least at this moment, they hadn't won a game on the road. Yeah. So, translate that to this season, and they've won how many games on the road? Let's see. I'm curious.
I think they've only got 2 losses on the road, and they're 4-1 at home. So what is that?
They're 8-3. Sorry, you said they're what?
They've only had 1 loss at home, so they're 4-1 at home.
So they're 4-2.
They're 4-2 on the road. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. But yeah, this is what led to Eberflus getting fired. I feel like Caleb Williams, the last 2 years especially, has gotten so much crap. And it's nice to finally have him with an offensive-minded coach like Ben Johnson to actually, bring out the best in him. So it's just a crazy shift from last year to this year in terms
absolutely
of what he's been able to do. Ooh, here's a good one. Here's one for you to reminisce on. 23. So this is Dallas Cowboys beating up on the Washington Commanders. 45-10 was the final here. The biggest takeaway, the biggest headline here, it's Darron Bland or Darren Bland. It's Darron, right?
Darron, yeah.
He gets a pick 6, which was the 5th at the time, and that ended up setting the record for most in a season. Pretty damn impressive.
Didn't end up going on to do to get any more that season because he had plenty of other runway. But I'm looking at the records right now. The next 3 closest seasons are all 4 pick 6s.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 93, 72, and 71. So that was just a freak year for him. He was playing lights out. Was that the year after Diggs set the interception, had like the crazy interception record.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I feel like those 2 seasons were back to back, and I might be misremembering, but
I got you. I'll look it up.
I'm very happy Deron Bland is still on our team. Very, very solid player, and that was a heck of a season for him.
2021, so like 2 years before this.
2 years.
Stephon Diggs had 11 interceptions. At the time, led the NFL, tied the Dallas Cowboys single season record. But something we didn't talk about when we were recapping games earlier, shout out to Dak Prescott, passing Tony Romo as the all-time
That's right.
yardage leader for Dallas. That's amazing. I feel like I've probably been more critical of Dak than what is necessary, but he has been a pretty damn good game manager. Not even game manager. I don't want to put him in that tier because I almost feel like that has a negative connotation, and I don't mean it to. I think he's, when healthy, a top 5 quarterback, and he has been for like the last 7 years, 8 years. When healthy,
I think so. I mean, it's people tell me all the time, like, I've been a Dak believer since day one. I've seen what he's been able to do. I mean, he won the job when Tony Romo was healthy. People go back and they try to say, if Tony had played that season, was it 2014? Like, we would have gone all the way, but I don't think so. I think Dak's been the heart of this team since he's been here. He's a leader. He's our locker room, like the heart of the locker room. And push comes to shove, like, I don't know that there's any other quarterback other than maybe Patrick Mahomes who I would like trust more to make a read. You know what I mean?
yeah.
If you give me not even like one game, but one play, I trust Dak to make the right read, to do the right thing, to make the smart play. So I think I've said before, like, I don't consider him flashy, but he's a good, smart quarterback and he can make throws. And man, it's fun to see the offense be to see it reach its potential. These past couple of games, it's been fun to watch him play and to see him have fun. So
yeah, I feel like he's a quarterback that, and I think you did say that. I don't know if it was last episode or the one before that where you mentioned, yeah, he's not a flashy player. And I said, well, I think he is, just not in his personality. And I think what I meant by that was if you just look at his box score, right? Don't watch the game. If you just look at the box score, you're going to think, oh, wow, he puts up crazy numbers. It's got to be big plays. It's got, like, no, he's like Tim Duncan, where he can very easily
Mr. Fundamental.
Yeah. It's like you won't even be paying attention, and then you'll look at the box score, and it's like, how does he already have a 20 and 10 game? Like, it feels like he barely scored. What do you mean he has 30 points, right? I feel like that's how Dak is sometimes, where it's like, you're just casually enjoying the game. It doesn't look like they've taken any big shots. He's just methodically moving down the field without really much of an issue. And then you look up and it's like, oh, he has 260 yards already. That's kind of the game he has been playing. And that kind of leads right into what you're saying, where he makes the smart move instead of going for deep balls. However, he's been able to do that a little bit more with Pickens.
He absolutely has, yeah.
Okay, moving on to this one's funny. 2013, Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens.
Man.
So if you know about this one, Baltimore ends up winning the game. That's great. 22-20, right? The funny part for me is, one, both of these teams love to flirt with being 500. So at the end of this, Baltimore is 6-6, Pittsburgh is 5-7. Just so you know. But the headline here,
this is hilarious.
Jacoby Jones is running back a kick return, and this one's going to the house. It's not even like he gets past everybody, except for good old Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is sitting there, leg open, just on the sideline, like looking up at the scoreboard, not paying attention. Jacoby Jones has to avoid him somehow and ends up, by the way, at the time, no flag, no issue, no suspension, anything like that. He ended up having to pay a fine, and luckily Baltimore won, so it didn't actually affect the game too much. But it was just one of those things where it's like, Tomlin isn't one of those guys where I'm like, he's gonna do something stupid, or he's gonna do something and then be like, oh, I didn't mean to. And I don't think he often has malicious intent, but this time I'm kind of like, dude, what are you doing? It looks so
Yeah.
dumb. He's so clearly out in the middle of the way. It's like, how do you not recognize you're
I
doing that?
don't know, man. I struggle to come up with what Tomlin was thinking, and normally I'm 100% Tomlin fan. Like,
Hmm.
he says all the right things. He's a good coach. He does all the right things, but this was just like what happened? Like, there was no excuse for it. I think he got fined $100,000 for that.
He did. Yep.
Yeah. So a rare Mike Tomlin L for sure.
Yep.
Thank God it didn't affect the outcome of the game, because
That
we'd
would
be
have looked.
talking about that as like one of the most controversial NFL moments of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe not just because both teams, like I said, were 500. The difference would be Pittsburgh would be, you know, 6-6, and Baltimore would be 5-7, right?
Right.
So maybe not too much change, but something I noted here: Jacoby Jones had 2 returns for 104 yards. Obviously, that would have been 2 returns for like 130, 140 yards and a touchdown if that play had not happened. So just a little trip down memory lane of Mike Tomlin doing something that is not a very common Mike Tomlin thing to do.
Definitely not.
Shout out to my boy, my man's Emmanuel Sanders had 6 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown for the Steelers. Nobody cares about that except for people in my hometown, so I love to shout him out every chance I can. Ooh, this one's kind of neat, especially with both teams at the time being very good and kind of foreshadowed some stuff later on. Another Baltimore game playing against the San Francisco 49ers, the 2011 Har Bowl, if you will. So, as you know, this was Jim Harbaugh's first stint in the NFL.
The Niners?
With the Niners, before going to the
Michigan.
The Michigan Wolverines, and then back now to the Chargers. So at the time, both teams very good. Going into this game, San Francisco would have been 9-1. Baltimore would have been 7-3. And the really interesting thing here, because for the most part, going into the fourth quarter, they were tied at 6-6, just a defensive juggernaut of a game. And both quarterbacks here. Can you name the 49ers quarterback, by the way?
Was it Kaepernick?
So that's what I would have guessed. That's what I would have guessed as well. It was Alex Smith.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yep. Obviously Joe Flacco on the Baltimore side. Here's a name, Ray Rice.
Oof.
Yeah, Baltimore rushing,
That
Ray
boy.
Rice. But yeah, that game also kind of foreshadowed the following year's Super Bowl when they played down in New Orleans. So, looking back at this game, it was on paper, box score, kind of a snooze fest in terms of the offensive side of the ball. Not a ton going on. The leading receiver for the entire game had 63 yards. It was Anquan Bolden. So not a lot going on in this game. But go back and watch some of the game footage. Go back and, see, when ESPN or NFL Network or whoever will cut together like a 10-minute, this is what happened throughout the game. Here are some of the key plays. Pretty damn exciting game. So I encourage, viewers to go back and check that out. Last one I'll mention, and this is just a little tidbit. I don't have a box score. I don't have any exciting stuff about it. 1980s, actually the year 1980, Lions versus the Bears. So the interesting thing about this game, it was the first and shortest overtime Thanksgiving game. So with this game, I'm going to make sure I look up. I don't think I need to look up a box score. I just want to look up the who won.
Bears.
Sorry, I know who won. It was the Bears. The guy who ran back the kickoff, Dave Williams. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting because not only was it the first game ever to go to overtime for Thanksgiving, imagine the excitement in the stadium just for it to be over in the next few minutes.
Yeah.
Which, hey, if you were, I guess that kind of sucks. If that was Detroit, like if they were the ones to run it back, that would have shut down the stadium. It would have been mass chaos. People would have been just pumped. The vibes would have been great. But that probably made that the most quiet stadium in the entire
shut them down.
Entirety
95-yard
of
kickoff return from Dave Williams.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. If you don't have anything else to cover, if you don't have any other games you want to check out, we could jump into the tip drill. Let's do it. We're going to do a tier list. And I think, Jacob, you want to lead this one?
Yes, sir. So if you didn't know, and I didn't. The NFL keeps a collection or posts a collection of photos every week that they call their top 10 photos of the week. Goes through the playoffs, their pictures from the Super Bowl last year out there. But I stumbled upon it this week and I thought, why not go through them? Let's pick out some of the ones I thought were really cool. We can tier list them. Don't really care what we're looking for. It can be loose criteria. We can just kind of talk about what we think makes a cool picture, maybe, or why we like them or dislike them. And I don't know. Just thought it'd be fun. Thought it'd be cool to let people know they're out there because definitely these photos are really cool. I normally only see them like on NFL Instagram accounts and stuff like that. But you can go out there and browse at your leisure. But
Nice. I didn't know
this
this was a thing.
collection was curated by yours truly.
I didn't know that was a thing. So yeah, you put me onto it. I'm like definitely put everybody else onto it as well. So we got the tier list here, and we'll get into these individual ones. First one up.
Yes, sir. So we're going
Week 1.
we're going chronologically here.
Okay.
We're going to be going from this is the only one from week 1. Some of these weeks are actually crazy and have quite a few really good picks, but I thought this one was the best from week 1. No particular reason. It just looks crazy.
Yeah. To be absolutely horizontal like that, barely like fingertips on the ball.
It's such a Patrick Mahomes-esque thing to do.
Yeah.
Right?
And then I know we were talking about loose criteria. We talk about what makes a good photo. The color contrast that they had in this game, peak uniform
For
matchup
sure.
right here. This is really nice. So.
Flying against that powder blue backdrop there, the classic red versus blue. It looks great.
Now I'll say,
this was the Brazil game in week 1.
Yeah. I will say, obviously, this is the first one we're looking at. I want to put it high, but I want to also temper my expectations. So, are you okay putting it in A, and then at the end we can move things around?
We can adjust if we need to. Yeah, I think A is fine for this one.
Okay.
It's not my favorite. There are some good ones coming up.
Gotcha. Next one up. Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, so this is actually week 3. For some reason, week 2 is not posted on the NFL site, so I just couldn't find any from week 2. But I thought this was the coolest one from week 3. This is Josh Joby, obviously intercepting a pass off Chris Olave. This was in Seattle. I don't know. I think this is just awesome. Kind of goes with the namesake of the podcast. He's high pointing the ball there. It's just a beautiful interception.
Almost. Hold on, I'm gonna go back real quick. That almost looks like our logo.
It really does.
does.
It really does, actually.
Yeah. So
and that's not the only high point one on the list, but
yeah,
I just thought this was a very clean. I mean, how much cleaner can you get the pick? Like he's 2 feet in front of the receiver, so
yeah,
this is a great play.
Very, very nice here. And yeah, the detriment that you can't even see his face, but you know that Chris Olave right there is like, damn, like he's upset that
Nothing he could do about that.
Yeah.
That ball should have been thrown further.
The stance here, the arms being like the way that they're positioned, where he's like, that clearly was one that he wasn't intending. I like this one. I think that's a B
for sure. Solid B.
Next up here,
I didn't really pick any bad ones, so it's gonna be. We should probably be a little bit harsher with our criticisms because I don't know how many of them are gonna get like an F or a D, but we'll see.
Okay, fair enough. Damn,
maybe this next one will.
Okay, you say that. I don't know because this is so dynamic. This man's feet are in the air.
Let me see here. I got to get the details on this picture.
Yeah, obviously the Bengals Broncos.
Yeah, Bengals Broncos. So the receiver is Troy Franklin, the one being tackled. He's being tackled by, it doesn't have the defender's name here, but the defender's actually the one making the insane play.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is on the Bengals, but yeah, he's totally wrapped around the defender. Just how often do you see that?
Yeah. I can't see a number or anything, so I don't know who this is either. But yeah, he is completely wrapped around him. Solid effort from this defender. I think I really like. Hold on, I need to go back to it. Oh, it's so good. And not to mention, like,
I mean, and the receiver made the catch too. So
yeah, solid from this receiver. Small note here. I love the matte coloring for. Yeah, I like that so much better than the shiny blue that they had for a while. Yeah. I think that's a solid C.
I was gonna give it C tier, yeah. Floating in between C and B for me.
Yeah, it's a good one though. I like that, just the picture of it. Oh man.
All right, so this one, maybe this one will be lower on your list for sure, but I don't know. I think it's a great like contrast photo that tells, storylines for both the teams.
No, so that's exactly why look, I haven't seen the other ones. This is pretty S tier to me. Like, this is SA territory.
Okay.
I think this one's
Okay.
beautiful.
I didn't expect that. I thought this might be one of your lower ratings, but
No.
this was Micah's first game back at Dallas week.
No, I think this is such a good photo. And like you said, just in terms of the contrasting colors that they have here, the fact that it's Micah sacking, or well, I don't know, it looks like Dak gets the ball off, but the fact that he's like, about to tackle Dak, it's like you said.
And if you look at the very
lines.
bottom of the picture, my hands start to get sweaty because it's in the end zone.
Yeah,
Cowboys are in their own end zone.
I was gonna ask if they were backed up in the end zone here. It looks like they are. I didn't know if that was like at the 50, maybe that's the star or something. I don't know. But yeah, no, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, with Micah breathing down your neck.
It's hard to not put that one in S right now.
I'll defer to you because I'm biased on this one for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in S for now because that's just a really good one in terms of storylines from this entire season. So next up, is this?
All right, man. So this is not the only Cam Skattebo picture that's on the list, and that really should say something because we've talked about how I don't really like the guy.
Yeah,
but everybody loves a mean stiff arm, and this is a mean stiff arm, bro.
I'll say Skattebo is built for dynamic moments. Like, it's things like this where it's like, okay, I can get on board with him. I know I don't like him. I know there's parts of his personality where I'm like, this guy's just annoying. But then I see stuff like this and I'm like, he's got some moxie to him. I like it.
For sure.
Yeah, that's a nasty stiff arm. Who's that? 33 for the Saints. Do you know who that is?
Safety Jonas Sanker.
He still play for him?
Yeah, I don't know who the defender is, but this was week 5, kind of what I feel like when Cam Skattebo kind of emerged. White Boy Summer was birthed.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll say, what do you think? Like B?
I was gonna say A tier, man. That's a sick stiff arm.
It's a pretty sick stiff arm
for me.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
All right. This one was also for like storyline and comedic effect.
This one,
I think it's ridiculous.
Was this a part of this
stupid
grouping?
But what
was this a part of this grouping? Like the NFL photography, like all these like really
This is one of the week 6 pictures. This is actually number 10 on their list.
Hilarious.
For week 6.
I love it. There's absolutely no thoughts behind Jackson Dart's eyes, and then there's too many thoughts with Cam Skattebo. So
this was after the Giants beat down the Eagles 34-17.
Yeah.
So they were feeling it, man.
They should.
For sure.
As they should.
It's kind of iconic in a big, dumb jock sort of way. So
that's A tier.
I thought it'd be funny to put on here.
That's A tier.
Okay. I thought we might have had our first D there.
I don't. Let's split the difference. We'll put him in C.
Okay. We can.
As far as a picture, it's ridiculous, but just the whole idea behind it is pretty funny and pretty great.
Worth a laugh, I think.
Oh, the man goes airborne. Yes, sir.
You know who this is.
Yes, the best wide receiver on the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, that's who it is. That's who I think.
I don't see an 88 on that jersey, but like I was just saying, everybody loves a good stiff arm. Everybody loves a good hurdle too, man.
Yeah, man. I can replay this one in my mind. That's how much I remember this one. It was so good. Man, Pick is he's a dynamic dude too. I'm telling you, it's the guys that are able to do wild things that you wouldn't expect. And
sure.
Obviously those make the best pictures too.
This was one of the weeks that had a ton of really great pictures, actually. I think this was week 7. Maybe it was week 6. I don't know, but
I
think that one's great.
We're not halfway through yet, but I am gonna move Holmes up to S and then just slide these down to kind of make it a little bit more even. That feels right. What's after the pick hurdle?
I actually think there's a cooler quarterback throw coming up here in a minute, but this is not Devonta's only picture on the list. He has quite a few highlight photos, but this was week 7 against the Jags, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback Greg Newsome II there. This was in London, I believe.
Nice.
And it's just great little one-handed catch there by Devonta, doing what he does, leading the league in receiving touchdowns.
I'll say pretty impressive that even in London, there's still, I could see quite a bit of Rams fans. Because you know how it is with the London games, where it's like...
Yeah, everybody's just wearing whatever jersey they have.
Exactly.
Looks like a rainbow. But yeah, it looks like Rams fans kind of showed out there.
Yeah.
There's definitely a majority of them.
Mm-hmm. The colors don't do it for me, which sucks.
Yeah, it doesn't pop as much as some of them. So I think we maybe, just in terms of like the actual photo itself, probably a lower, like a D or a C probably.
Yeah, and the stupid FedEx logo is taking me out of it too.
Well, I didn't really pay attention to that. Yeah.
It draws my eye for some reason. I hate it. That being said, like this look for the Jags with the black teal, I've always liked that. I think it looks nice.
I wish those helmets were matte. A matte black.
Ooh,
it would look better.
For a while, they did like an ombre where it was like black and then in the back like faded.
I liked
gold,
those, and it faded into the blue. I liked that.
No, it faded into like gold, like they're like Jaguar goldish color. I don't think it faded into teal. Either way, good picture, but in terms of this exercise, I'm gonna put it at a D tier. It's not as fun and dynamic as some of the other ones.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, not real much football action going on here, but every once in a while we see backflips and acrobatics in the NFL, so that's cool. I thought I'd just fit a James Cook touchdown in here.
I was going to say, ball is in his hands, right? Like on the other side?
Yes, you can't see the ball.
I didn't know if he was just like...
This is a touchdown. He's somersaulting into the end zone.
Okay, cool. Didn't know if this was like him goofing around in like pregame warmups or if this is actually like in-game. Let me
see if I can find the context. I think this was week 7 or week 8. Week 8, he scored a touchdown. They played the Panthers that week.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was in the game.
Yes. I think that was like a 30-9 score or something.
Something like that.
Buffalo, they beat the crap out of the Panthers. This is a good photo right here. I'll say B tier.
I was feeling B too. It kind of slots in there nicely.
I think this one's up next. Oh, what is this?
We both know who this is. What
is he doing? Why is he elevating that high?
Jumping over a defender, I guess?
And throwing? I feel like I need to see the clip of this one actually happening. But that's...
Yeah, no promises that the pass was completed or anything, but this just looked like such a dynamic shot. I couldn't resist.
No, it's probably honestly a pick six the opposite way.
Probably.
I'll say something that immediately caught my eye, and I know this is a thing now, are the thigh pads that have numbers in them. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't notice that at all.
Yeah, it's a little 7 right there.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. I think they only do it for like skill players because obviously they're not going to print out a 70 for these big ass thigh pads. But yeah, I mean, man, Fields, he was one of those guys at the beginning of the season where we're like, hey, he's not going to be good, but he's at least, he's got some athleticism. He's
got the tool. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, he sucks. He got benched. I feel bad for him.
He got benched for Tyrod Taylor, and to add on to that, he said he doesn't understand why he got benched. So
maybe that's part of the problem.
Maybe let's just cut the cord on this guy.
Yeah. That being said, very
cool.
You said B?
Yeah, C or B.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say C. I like the picture though.
I personally think it's a cooler like pose than Mahomes is doing. But just given the context, I think Mahomes belongs in the S tier, right? Like Mahomes probably made that pass. And like you said, like Fields, that probably went for pick 6.
Next up, okay.
I knew my boy was going to come up here again.
Yeah,
I think this is a beautiful photo with obviously the 4 defenders on him right there.
Yeah.
The contrast in the colors. Let me see if I can find the info on this.
Well, already I'm seeing
this was week 9, and honestly, this is probably the most loaded of all the weeks that are out there on the site. Dude, week 9 has some badass pictures. I think I may have put 1 or 2 more from that week on here. But yeah, this was obviously, I think this was a Rams home game.
Okay.
And he was just running the ball. I don't think this was a touchdown or anything, but just beautiful picture with the contrast.
I already know, though, that this one must have gone for at least like 15, 20 yards because you have number 31, number 21, number 26, all defensive backfield numbers. So he had to have at least gotten a little bit. So, I mean, that makes me think, he was off and running. And yeah, they're pursuing like a defense should, but like that just makes me already know like this is probably a decent play.
Yeah.
And this is just hard. That is just him getting away from all the defenders here. I like that as A tier right there. As A tier material.
Agree. As an A tier, yeah.
And me, me. I don't think I've always been the biggest Devonta Adams fan, but he's really good, man. It's hard to deny.
Dude, I think if he wins a Super Bowl with Stafford here, I think he may already be a Hall of Famer. But before it's all said and done, stat wise, he probably will be a Hall of Famer. But if he wins another Super Bowl, then absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
Or no, he doesn't win a Super. If he wins a Super Bowl, I think he should be.
Mm-hmm.
This is also from week 9. So this is stacked again. Quentin Johnston touchdown catch against cornerback Jalen Armour Davis of the Titans.
Armour Davis, sure.
I just love the action pose Johnston is in here, man.
Yeah, how he's moving this way, he's behind, faced opposite directions. You could almost literally rotate this 180 and it'll be like kind of the same, just opposite directions.
Got the hair flowing in the back. I just thought this was a beautiful pick.
Yeah, that looks clean too. Yeah, I like that. That one's really good. I'm assuming he catches this and it's a touchdown, yeah?
Oh, yeah, that's a touchdown.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I think solidly C, maybe B tier.
Yeah. Let's go C tier for right now.
Okay.
Let's go C tier for right now.
This next one will definitely give the tops a run for their money. I love this next picture.
Ooh, that's a layout.
This is Stephon Diggs. Number 8. Stephon Diggs.
Is he number 8 for them? For some reason, I was thinking a different number for him. That's solid. That's solid. With the bend of the marker.
Bend of the pylon just makes the entire picture. Like there's no doubt that's a touchdown right there. It's the ball touching the pylon. He's reaching for it. You got the 2 defenders behind him.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
This guy's out. He knows like he's nowhere near it. This guy's making a huge effort. Got the Air Jordans on too. Oh yeah, it's a good picture, man. I like this one a lot.
In the shadows on the field painting there and everything.
Yeah.
It looks almost cartoony. I love this pick.
If I'm Stephon Diggs, this one's going up in the house for sure. Like I'm framing that one up. That one's an A tier. That one's A tier.
Okay. I think that's it for week 9. 3 bangers.
Damn. Yeah, they did have a lot. You're right. Okay, so our boy, our MVP that won't win the MVP. Jonathan Taylor.
Not as nasty a stiff arm, obviously, as the Skattebo one earlier, but I had to put this out there for the league leading rusher, Jonathan Taylor. This was week 10 against the Falcons. Man, I'm realizing the Falcons are kind of getting clowned on several of these. Cornerback AJ Terrell. This was a Berlin game.
Okay,
but
let me tell you,
just a really clean shot. Probably not a showstopper image or anything, but just JT doing what he does.
So let me tell you this. You're right. This isn't the nastiest stiff arm, but I think that kind of makes it worse. Like he's not trying to hit this guy hard. It's more like a lil bro type of move. Like, get off me.
Right.
Like you are not worth my time. And I mean, even looking at it, he's not even looking at the defender. He's looking ahead.
Nah, he's looking at the next person he's about to stiff arm.
Yeah, because he knows I'm getting past this guy easy. That's solid. That's hard.
Picture wise, I think it's probably a D. One of the less exciting ones here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Boom. Ooh. Is that Diggs again?
Yeah, you know who this is again.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Stephon Diggs. Also week 10 against the Bucs.
I want to know what his cleat says here, but I can't. I don't think I could zoom in that far enough while still keeping
quality.
I don't
think I am able to zoom in as much either.
Either way.
Actually, hold on. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, they're off-white cleats.
Like, as in the off-white, the brand?
Yeah, like the brand. They look like they're fashioned after like the 10. They've got the produced in Beaverton, Oregon text. That's what that is.
All right. Yeah, this is hard. Yeah,
man, this is a beautiful high point.
Mm-hmm.
Had to put it on there. We both like Stephon Diggs. No doubt or touchdown. Beautiful pick with all the red in the background. Got to give it to Tampa Bay. They show out their fans. and it's a beautiful contrast with the Pats dark blue uniform there. So
Yep. Not only is this a hard pick, the background's nice, the color contrast is nice, and Stephon Diggs is dripped out of his mind. So I'm thinking A for that one.
I give that one an A as well. Now, do you know who this is?
Is that Smith and Jigba, right? 11,
That's
yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Whew,
Definitely
off.
one of the smaller people in the league, stiff arming Kobe Durant of the Rams.
Wow. Yeah,
I
that's
really don't
sick.
like those Rams uniforms.
Yeah, those midnight ones, those sucked.
But man, that is a nasty stiff arm there from not a big dude.
I'm telling you, it doesn't even look like he's like, I know this is just because of the dynamism. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Of the photo. It doesn't look like he's running. It looks like he's just walking fast and just went, get off me. Like there wasn't even like,
absolutely.
This doesn't look like it was going fast, which honestly makes it that much nastier and makes
it looks like he just caught the ball and said, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Get out, please. Yeah, that one's good. That one's good. And just the nastiness, like how twisted he is. One leg going this way, holding on for dear life. Oh, just embarrassed.
Like I'm all for player safety and staying away from grabbing the face mask until you get stiff-armed, and then I want to see their head turn back around like they're the Exorcist, you know?
Yeah, my goodness. That one's an A tier. We'll shift things around because A tier is getting kind of loaded. Last one here.
Had to put this one in here for you.
Yeah, thank you. That's nice.
This is week 12. Xavier Hutchinson.
Okay.
And these Bills defenders are Taron Johnson and Cole Bishop.
Yep. Yeah, that one's, oh man, the colors here are lovely.
Yeah, I thought this was a great like contrast photo. I don't know if this is a touchdown or anything. I think Hutchinson's just being tackled by these two guys, but clearly making a huge effort play here. I think it just looks sick.
I love that we did our battle reds are all red, and that left obviously the Bills to do all white.
Yeah,
perfect uniform matchup. That looked really clean. The only thing, no, never mind. I was gonna say the only thing that would have made it better for me is if we had matte helmets, but the shiny looks nice, especially like
I like the shiny.
Yeah, that's fine. The candy apple red. I know the fans like that one a lot. Yeah, this one's good too. This one's good. All these are good, right?
Yeah.
I'm putting this one B though. I think that feels right. If we're trying to kind of tighten this up a little bit, I think I would say pick the Pickens hurdle.
I agree with that. That one's a sick photo.
And I think maybe this Devonta Adams with all the defenders on him. And then we could close these down.
And as much as I hate to say it,
nice and clean.
Well, I think maybe that Skattebo face stiff arm goes in S.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
That one's beautiful.
Now, do we move anything down into this or just kind of close it down like this? That feels okay. That feels right.
Yeah, this feels good to me.
I like this.
We can maybe move White Boy Summer down to D tier.
Yeah, that's fair. That is so fair. It's just fun, man.
Yeah.
That's
otherwise, I think this is good. I like this.
All right. This is nice and clean. I like this. We'll keep that. All right, man. Up. We are going to do a little bit of Thanksgiving trivia. All right. So, obviously main topic in the pod, we went over some, some of the games that have happened on Thanksgiving before and how exciting some of those were. So I'm going to treat you to a little bit of trivia to see, how well Thanksgiving games historically.
Okay.
So first up here, who has had the most games played on Thanksgiving, not including Detroit or Dallas? Your options,
Commanders, right?
So your options here are the Chicago Bears, the New York Giants, the Green Bay Packers, and the Washington Commanders, and all of their previous lineage.
Fairly sure it's the Commanders.
Okay. If I Okay.
My next best guess would be the Packers.
Okay.
Well, actually, I think my next best guess would be the Bears, then Packers, then Giants. But what is it?
Okay, so a little bit of a trick question up front because it was the Bears and the Packers. They're both tied with the same amount of games played. I will say, though, the Commanders, previously, as we know, they were titled the Redskins. I do think it's very interesting that they did Cowboys and Indians on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It seemed on one hand, I'm like, how it's weird because it's fitting, but it's also like that's a little insensitive. That's a little racist. Maybe we shouldn't
They're
do
just
that.
honoring the American history of genocide.
Yeah, but I'm like, it's fitting. Not to mention the color contrast with those two teams on Thanksgiving is also really nice. That's
Yeah, I agree.
neither here nor there, though, is the Bears and the Packers.
Dang, I thought I would have got that one right.
I think this is just more of a history thing, you know? I think because the Cowboys have only been doing Thanksgiving every single year since like I want to say mid 60s. Detroit's been doing it since like the 20s. So this is just a numbers game, right? Bears and Packers have just faced Detroit more than Dallas has played Giants or the Commanders, right? So which of these teams has never played on Thanksgiving? Panthers, Rams, Patriots, Jaguars. So I didn't know, first of all, that there was a team that hadn't played on Thanksgiving before. There's a couple that are like 1 and 2 games, but this team has never played on Thanksgiving.
It feels like the Jaguars,
Okay, tell
but
me
I
why.
can't explain why.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Yeah, it's the Jaguars. Yeah, and
Just because I guess they're one of the newer franchises.
yeah, that's funny to me because obviously the Texans are the youngest franchise, established in 2002, and they have 2 games versus Jaguars who have 0. I think the Panthers have 2. They might have 1 or 2. And there's another team that only has like 1 or 2. Most wins on Thanksgiving, not Detroit or Dallas. So we have the Vikings, we have the Bears, we have the Eagles, and we have the Titans.
It's probably the Bears, right?
Why?
Because they are tied for the second most games behind Dallas or Detroit, and historically they've been a winning franchise.
Yeah, I think it's just a number game at that point.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
Yeah, it's the Bears. Nice. Yeah, some of these were like right on their tail with the Vikings and Eagles, but I just threw in the Titans there just as a curveball.
Vikings would have been my second guess.
Yeah. Most losses on Thanksgiving, not Detroit or Dallas. Cardinals, Broncos, Packers, Steelers.
I mean, one of these is not like the other, right? Is it Cardinals?
I don't know. I forgot.
You don't know the answer.
No, it's Packers. It's Packers. It's Packers. I was
Well,
trying to
probably because they
remember.
played a lot on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, it's like them and the Bears are like the exact opposite. Like they've both played the same amount of games, and it's like one. I think they've both played 38 games, right? And it's something like one of them is 20 wins, 18 losses, and the other one's 18 wins and 20 losses, which I think is
Interesting.
fascinating considering
Yeah.
it's not like they're playing each other. They're playing Detroit. Or maybe they're playing Dallas, maybe they're playing, one of the other games, but for the most part it's that. Best win percentage with a minimum of 5 games. I think there's 3 teams that are undefeated, but they've only played like 2 games. It's like the Texans who are undefeated. They're 2-0 on Thanksgiving. And there's 2 other teams that are 1-0. But I tried to factor those ones out and said, okay, minimum 5 games. Who is the best here? So we have the Eagles, the Rams, the Vikings, or the Chargers.
I'm feeling like it's between the Vikings or the Rams.
Okay, tell me why. I mean, I guess Vikings, I think if my guess is correct here, you're just thinking, okay, they're NFC North.
NFC North, so
playing
they've
into that
played a
same
lot of
thing.
Thanksgiving games, and both historically at least good franchises. Yeah, give me Vikings.
Okay, very good guess. It's actually the Philadelphia Eagles. And they've only played
Boo.
7 games, and I think they're like 6-1. Like
Boo.
they're really good on Thanksgiving. Most points per game on Thanksgiving. So we have the Dolphins, the Cowboys, the Vikings, and the Bills as your options here. Points per game. So
Give me Cowboys. Why not?
yeah, why not?
We
right?
show out on Thanksgiving. We tend to.
Absolutely.
It's probably wrong.
No, it's definitely it's the Vikings. So Vikings are 28.9.
We're the lowest.
Would it help to say that you're the 3rd highest or 4th highest? No, you're not actually.
Okay.
I don't think that's correct. I don't even think that's correct. Vikings at 28.9, Dolphins at 28.6, Bills 28.2, Cowboys 23.7.
Damn, that's impressive. Vikings, almost 30 points.
Yeah. How about the least points per game on Thanksgiving? So we have the Bears, we have the Packers, we have Washington and all of their various iterations, and then the New York Giants.
I'm going to also guess the Bears here as a defensive-oriented team.
Yeah. So me, before doing this, I would have thought, okay, well, Bears-Packers having the most games. They've also played the most in eras that were like low scoring, 10 to 6 type of games. It's the Giants. And funny enough, the Bears and Packers are the highest out of this group. So Giants 17.5 points per game, Washington 19.2, Bears 19.4, and Packers 21.4.
You tricked me.
I tricked myself, man. I wasn't expecting this. Okay, last one here. You ready? Most points all time by a single player, non-kicker on Thanksgiving. So we have, as your options, Emmitt Smith, Calvin Johnson, Peyton Manning, and Barry Sanders.
It's either Emmett or Barry.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Barry Sanders.
You're saying Barry Sanders. Why?
Yeah, I just feel like he scored so many effing touchdowns. I'd put money on Emmitt Smith being the yardage leader for Thanksgiving, but I just feel like Barry Sanders got it on touchdowns here. What is
bud, you got to go with your gut. It's Emmitt Smith. You got to go with your boy. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, and I don't know if it's just because of. I mean, I do remember. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I do remember them being very close. It was like within 10 or 15 points type of situation. But yeah, then obviously there's Calvin Johnson who plays for Detroit, so somebody like that. I threw Peyton Manning in there as a curveball. I didn't know if you would pick that one.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, that's it for that one. A little bit of Thanksgiving trivia. A little something you could take to your family and tell them about. Last one we have, pull it up here. And this is going to be the fun one. This is going to be the fun one where I'm definitely going to win. This is going to be the Thanksgiving draft. Okay. So the Thanksgiving draft, this is how it's going to work. We're going to have a draft where we each select a main, a potato, a veggie, 2 casseroles, a bread, and a dessert. So kind of the same formats that we've done previously, but in this case, instead of 2 wide receivers, you're getting 2 casseroles. Who had the first pick on our last draft? Do you happen to know?
I do not.
I'm going to check. I think episode 12 did players that started with the letter A. I think I had the first one and I picked Adrian Peterson. So that means...
I believe that's correct.
That means this first draft is yours, my friend.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and just win this draft right out the gate. And this may be up for debate whether it belongs under potato or casserole, but it's got to be a sweet potato casserole.
I'll put
with the marshmallow spread. And
where would you like to put it? It's your call. You're the person drafting.
Put it under the casseroles.
Okay.
That is the top tier casserole, and I will fight anybody that disagrees with me.
Sweet potato. Nice. No,
it's not the one that I have like the most emotional connection to.
Sure,
but we'll get to that.
But it's always solid, though. I feel like,
for sure.
Let me ask you this: with yours, obviously, marshmallow top, yeah,
of course.
Okay, are you one of the people that puts like walnuts or something as well, like a little nut on top, or no?
It wouldn't bother me. No, I mean a little crunch is not bad.
I like it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
All right, I'm gonna do a bread. And I'm going to go with rolls. Now, I'll tell you, my wife makes the best salted honey butter rolls. They are currently, I know it's like midnight recording. They are currently some that are just sitting on the top of our stove right now, just cooling down, waiting for tomorrow.
To you.
And I wish that I could just go grab one. I know I can't.
Like the smoke is making the like hand tendrils that are like, come to me.
Yeah, like in the old school cartoons. Absolutely. I'm going to like waft over there like with my little fingers and toes like twinkling about. I'm just floating. So I'm putting rolls here because I'm not going to spell it out, but my wife's salted honey butter rolls.
Okay. For the main, give me the ham.
Damn. Okay.
I want the ham over the turkey because it's so much harder to F up than the turkey is. Everybody in the world's had a dry turkey.
Huh?
Even a dry ham is better than a dry turkey.
Yeah. I agree. This one kills me because I really did want ham. I'm going to go, I'll take turkey, obviously, and I'll explain kind of why I would have rather had ham. This is very much like a I don't even know who this would be. Is this I feel like turkey is Peyton Manning, right? When it's good, right? And it's always the main star. It's always the person that is being featured in the promos. We know this is a Peyton Manning game. Ham, however, always really good, maybe not in the spotlight as much as turkey, right? Is this ham Drew Brees?
Maybe.
Yeah. That's kind of the vibe I'm going with, where it's like Drew Brees is always going to have a 300-yard game. Peyton Manning's going to have some every now and then. Peyton Manning's obviously always really good. I think when it's done right, of course I would rather have turkey.
Right.
But ham has a higher floor.
I feel like ham is like Patrick Mahomes. Like you can never go wrong with, if the Thanksgiving dinner was a bust, it wasn't the ham's fault, you know?
Yeah. No, fair enough. That's also a good comparison. All right, I think you're up.
Okay. For dessert, give me pumpkin pie.
Okay. I didn't realize you were gonna throw. Okay, you can take pumpkin pie.
You are crazy, dude.
Yeah,
pumpkin pie is the best Thanksgiving dessert.
No, it's not.
You going pecan?
No, it's
Okay.
pecan.
Well, it's like a 1A, 1B, I guess, but
I mean, if that's
wrong.
the way, if whatever you want to say to make yourself feel better about this L that you're about to take, because pecan pie is better.
Oh, dude, I can't wait for everybody to just clown you in the comments.
No. That's not a thing. Which of these two would you rather have? I'm taking pecan every single time.
I disagree. Firmly put pecan pie in cold weather category, and I can eat pumpkin pie any time of the year.
Okay.
Also, I could put down like an entire pumpkin pie by myself.
That's fair.
And a pecan pie, I'm done with it after a slice. Ooh. Like it's so rich.
You make good points. I don't agree with you, but you make good points. Shout out to my mother-in-law. She makes a phenomenal pecan pie. Keeps me coming back to visit them every Thanksgiving and during the holidays. I think you're up.
I mean, I could go so many different ways here, but I think I'm gonna make it mashed potatoes. Just some good old fashioned staple mashed potatoes.
Yeah, with gravy, obviously.
Yes.
Do y'all do okay? Whenever you're doing this, right? Do you do mashed potatoes with like a standard brown gravy, or do you use a turkey gravy?
I've had it both ways. My sister-in-law last year made us like a German turkey gravy, and it was one of the most delicious things I've ever had in my life.
That's nice.
And that might have changed me, because prior to that I was like, brown gravy's great, love it, whatever. I like white gravy too, but not on mashed potatoes. But man, that whatever she did to that turkey gravy was
nice.
Delicious.
Good. I'm gonna go with something that's always thought of as a Scottie Pippen to a Jordan, right? It's always thought of I can't even think of another, like, I'm trying to think of a football comparison here.
Batman to Robin?
Yeah, exact. Or Robin to Batman. I'm gonna go with the stuffing or dressing. I think some people call it. I think the difference
in the South, it's dressing.
So yeah. So I think the main difference is what dressing, you cook it just like stovetop or oven or whatever. Stuffing is literally what you stuff into the turkey. I think that's kind of the difference in the naming conventions. But yeah, I'm taking stuffing as my casserole, as my
what kind of stuffing do y'all do?
What do you mean?
Do you do like cornbread stuffing?
No, I don't know. We have we do our own like recipe where we use like French bread, cut it into pieces, toast it up, and then put a whole bunch of herbs and like celery and carrot. I don't think people often do carrot, but Amy doesn't like onions. So my wife, Amy, she doesn't like onions. So we do like celery and carrot inside of it. And then a whole bunch of...
We always do cornbread stuffing, but yeah, celery is a staple.
Nice.
For sure in the dressing. You stole that one. That one was going to be my next pick.
I'm surprised that
I think I'm going to save my casserole pick.
Okay.
What?
I said I'm surprised stuffing went this late in the draft, to be honest.
Yeah. For bread,
mm-hmm.
Now you stole rolls. I would have gone with the King's Hawaiian rolls here.
Okay.
However, I'm going to say crescent rolls are a very good substitute.
Okay. Yeah.
A nice buttered crescent roll.
Yeah. I'm not against that. Crescent rolls are very good. And they're just like the right size, you know? You might not want that big old roll that I'm talking about, right? The salted honey butter ones that I make or my wife makes. You might want just something smaller that you could kinda dip in your mashed potato and gravy a little bit, you know? I'm with you on that, that's good. See, I don't know what to do about this potato one, it's staring me in the face. So I'm gonna avoid it for right now. Veggie, I'm gonna do buttered carrots.
Oof.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't argue
I'm
with you
shaping
there.
up good. I'm just saying, like, this is a top tier. I'm building out a very good plate. I don't know what you're doing over there, but I'm building
I'm
out.
getting hungry. I'm getting hungry. All right. Maybe this is the Southerner in me,
Uh-huh.
but for the veggies, give me like a nice butter corn cob.
Ooh, buttered corn. Solid.
Alternatively, cream corn
Okay, make a decision.
is top tier on Thanksgiving, in my opinion.
Make a decision. What are you putting here?
Buttered corn.
Buttered corn. I think that's the right move. I always like
Cream corn is
off
like
the
a
cob.
once a year type thing for real.
Yeah,
For me.
which, speaking of, is what I do, corn casserole. We do a corn casserole. It's very good. It's basically cornbread with corn and sharp cheddar cheese. Delicious. And cream cheese. I think there's cream cheese in it too. Um, you got casserole as your last pick. What you got here?
Yeah, man. I don't think this is a crowd pleaser by any means. In fact, I've heard from more than one person that this is like a poor people dish, that it's not very flavorful, that it's like a relic of bad cooking from like the 80s and 90s. But give me green bean casserole, complete
Green
with the
bean.
little onion crusties on the top. It was a staple in all of my family Thanksgivings. I encourage those of you who don't like it to give it a try with some actual fresh green beans.
Mhm.
It's good. Don't use canned green beans. Don't use canned anything. Use fresh ingredients and make your own. You can find a recipe online.
Yep.
It's good. It can be good.
Throw some bacon
So,
in there too.
dude,
Throw some bacon.
game changer.
Woo.
Absolute game changer.
All right, potatoes. I don't really know what I'm going here. I think I'll just
There is a right answer here.
is there? Is it
Yeah.
staring me in the face? Is this it's like a
I think for me at least.
it's like so obvious. It's like why aren't you taking Jameer Gibbs type of situation?
For me, it is.
Okay.
Because honestly, when I think of potatoes, I can only think of two other things, and one of them does not strike me as Thanksgiving.
Okay.
You want me to help you out?
So obviously
Here's what I'm thinking.
So obviously you've taken mashed potato. I'm not going to take sweet potato because you have it in the casserole as well. My only other thought was like the little tiny buttered potatoes.
Scallop potatoes, like the
Scalloped
sliced
potatoes, yeah.
scallop potato. That's the right answer.
Okay.
The other one I had was a baked potato.
Nah, nobody does a baked potato for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, not for
I
Thanksgiving.
think you're right. I think scalloped is the way to go, man.
And those pound for pound, might be better than the mashed, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's crazy here. There is so much butter and cheese in mine.
Dude,
And I'm
mine
not
too.
All right. All right. I think, hey,
And marshmallow. I got marshmallow on my mashed potatoes and my pumpkin pie.
your sweet potato. I hope you don't put marshmallow on your mashed potato.
See, sweet potato, yeah.
I don't think there's a loser here. I think we both won.
I would eat every single thing on this list. So no losers.
Brother,
And happy Thanksgiving to all.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to all. That's it for our tip drill. All right, let's get into our picks. Let's close this baby out. So we're going to do it a little bit different for this Thanksgiving special where we are literally going head to head. We thought it'd be fun because, as you should during Thanksgiving, you butt heads with your relatives. So I thought the best thing that I could do for this podcast is say, Jacob, whatever you pick, I think you suck. I'm going to take the opposite. So let's go ahead and start off with those. So that's going to be the main 3 games. And then we'll each pick a separate upset from.
The 3 Thanksgiving games are our head-to-heads.
Yes. And then we'll each have a upset from something else. So I have the Bengals over the Ravens. And what I have here is a Joe Burrow return game with 350 yards, 5 touchdowns. It's going to be sick. It's going to be nasty. And Lamar Jackson's going to be actually, no, Lamar's probably going to do about the same thing. But Cincinnati will just barely edge them out. That's the night game. So it's going to be, at the end of the day, full of turkey, full of food, just sitting on the couch. That's going to be the fun game to wrap things up with. And then I'll also do Lions over Green Bay.
That's the upset.
Yeah. I think
Isn't it?
by points, no, because Lions are at home. I would think they have the. Let me check the point spread real quick. I don't know. Yeah,
That's not your upset, but
Lions.
it is.
Lions are the favorite
Okay.
by 3.
Okay.
And on the previous game, Baltimore is the favorite by 7. So that's more of the one to watch. That's interesting. Why don't you tell us about the last game with Chiefs and Cowboys?
Yeah, man. Cowboys on a roll. Like I said at the beginning, we're disruptors. The Chiefs are not who they have been. I still expect it to be a great game. And man, I'm kicking myself right now because I think earlier in the season I said I'd never bet against the Chief, but give me the Cowboys. I'm feeling good.
Be a homer. Be a homer.
Yeah.
I think that's a great pick for you. Obviously, that means I am taking the Chiefs, and I'm feeling good about it too. I think with the Chiefs, they are also starting to go in the right direction somewhat. I mean, just taking down the Colts, having very close losses to the Bills and Broncos. Like, I don't think those are, you just think they suck now. It's like, no, those are really good teams. They're hanging on. They're staying in the games that they're playing. This one will be fun because it's at Dallas. And it's just going to be a fun game with Mahomes and Dak going head to head.
Backing up.
Why don't you?
Will you consider the Packers a legitimate contender if they beat the Lions here?
Yes. Yes. I know I've been talking crap about the Packers all year, just not taking them seriously. Yeah. I think if they beat the Lions in Detroit, Thanksgiving, yeah, I would take them seriously. Do you want to do your upset first or mine?
Yeah, upsets were kind of weird this week. I feel like there were a lot of lopsided games on the docket, but I feel like the Bucs are reeling. I think whether or not Baker plays, the Cards have been showing some impressive stuff the past couple weeks with Jacoby Brissett at the helm. So I think they're gonna surprise the Bucs at home in Tampa on this one. So give me the Cards, 3.5 underdog on the Bucs.
Nice. I'm gonna go with one which I'm viewing as a very, very big trap game. I am taking the Cleveland Browns at home to upset the San Francisco 49ers. I think San Francisco is going to have a tough time planning for Shador, not because he's a fantastic, crazy quarterback, just simply because there's not as much game film on him yet. And then I think Myles Garrett is going to cause havoc for Brock Purdy. So yeah, I think for Christian McCaffrey too. I think Garrett's going to be able to get in the backfield quite often, early and often. So yeah, I think right now Niners are a 4.5 point favorite on the road, mind you. Cleveland, they always have a weird energy about them. The fans, I mean, not the team. The fans always have a weird energy about them. I think, the week of Thanksgiving, just a lot of, you know, emotion that happens with this team and with their fan base. And even though they're 3-8 and most likely not going to make the playoffs, not even going to sniff the wild card, there's something about them that always seems to be like, hey, here's a random win in late November, early December that doesn't matter, but it's going to like shock somebody. I'm viewing this as such a big trap game for the Niners. So that's who I have there.
That's bold for me, man. If you call this, ball.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of, we were both got all of our picks last week. Every single pick
That's
we
right.
made. So
8 for 8.
I think I have the actual number here. That would put our current score, me 37, you 25. So I'm not that far in front of you, and there's
Got to catch up by 12.
yeah, there's still
Getting
a lot
tight
to play. Yeah.
I need to make up some ground. I'm losing time to do that.
Yep, there's still a lot of game left to be played. And I don't know what we'll do for the playoffs. Maybe we'll like double it or something. I don't know. Like once we get there, we'll think about it.
Gotta find some way for me to catch up because I've been such a bum.
But thank you for listening. Again, I'm at Rick High Jr. Of course, Jacob is at JDubTines. You can find us obviously here on YouTube. You can find us at anywhere that you could normally find podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Spotify. I didn't realize it, but we're also on like Amazon podcasts, like that, like Amazon Music podcasts, whatever. So yeah, you can find us just about anywhere. You can also follow along at our socials. We're nearly everywhere at High Point Pod. Drop us a follow on Instagram. Drop us a follow on X, formerly Twitter. We're happy to engage in conversation. We post a bit on those ones, but it's mainly a lot of back and forth between people that reach out and communicate. So we're always happy to engage. But other than that, that's it. That's it. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Hopefully this will be posted and you're listening to this around like 10 a.m. I'm trying to get this episode out early. That way you can actually enjoy it before the games get started. So thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.